We're here with Joe Capitano Sr., who is no stranger to Ybor City and is responsible for saving this building. Hi, Joe.
Hey.
I know you're all choking up.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate that. But I'm not the one that really saved the building. It really is more involved with the Italian Club who stepped up, who I was chairman of the committee that put this together.
Well, wait a second. Wasn't there a wrecking ball, and they were actually going to tear this building down?
Well, when it all started out, when we first came to look at it, and I met out here with the city, Michael Chin, and we went inside the building to take a look at it. It was in such bad shape that it was just impossible for a private individual or a private club to put the money that it was going to just take to secure it. His recommendation, and after he saw it, and also Mike Huey at the time, Mark Huey, said, hey, let's just put it, we can't save this bill, it's impossible. After that point, we went to the Ybor City YCDC, who wanted the building saved, the group, the directors, and after getting a bid on how much it was going to cost to secure the building, it was like it was $97,000 to secure it, $100,000 to secure it. They agreed to give us that money to try to secure it, to save the building at that point in time. The building had no roof on it, had been neglected for many years. We went to the owner who had agreed to donate the building to the Italian Club. We got a $100,000 grant from the YCDC to secure the building at that time, and without that, it wasn't doable. But the actual cost of doing it once we got involved was $137,000 or thereabouts. So that's how it was saved, because of a city program that was installated particularly to save this one building.
And I believe all the residents came out because they wanted to make sure that this building was preserved. And then with your connections at the Italian Club, this all worked out. How long ago was this?
It's been probably a year and a half, I would think. I don't remember the exact dates, but it's been quite some time. And the owner of the building at the time was Les Thompson, and he was gracious enough to donate the building to the Italian Club. And then with the donation of the land in the building, and then the $100,000 grant, we were able to secure and stop the building from getting any further deterioration. And then we were able to make a deal with someone that had a use for the building, who took the building and constructed it and got it to the point that you see it today.
Well, let's go get some history from Ken. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you very much, Veronica. Appreciate it.
I'm here with Ken Ferlita, who has personal ties to this very historic building. Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you.
So you have some ties with this building, or your family does?
Yes, my grandfather built the building in the 20s, and actually my father was born not in the building but in Ybor City, and spent the first 6 years of his life here.
Here in Ybor City, or the Macaroni factory?
The Macaroni factory was split in two. The south half was, which is the side that's behind us, was the resident side, and the other half was the manufacturing side, or the macaroni side.
So the actual name of the building is the Ferlita Macaroni Factory.
Well, that's what the pictures say, so I will go with that, yes.
And do you make all types of macaroni, or did you, or spaghetti?
They made a variety of macaroni, and it had different names, and I actually, through some of the papers, we found an actual list of all the different varieties they had. They even had one brand that was called Eagle brand, and the Eagle Milk Company brought some threat of a lawsuit, and they had to change the name. But basically, it had like the name of Frelita. They shipped all the way up to Georgia. They actually had expanded their operation, and that was why they had to move out of Ybor City to a bigger facility.
You must be so proud to have this building, which is in your family's name, and then unfortunately go through this despair, and now to see all these people come together to restore it.
It was really nice, particularly because it was a connection to my dad who passed away in 2004, and I know he would have been very happy to be a part of it. And my grandfather had died when my father was in high school, so I never really knew him, and this building is another way to connect with my family, particularly my grandfather, who I never got to know, and it's really interesting to go through this whole process.
Well, I'm really excited to go ahead and see a tour, see how everything came together, and to see the final outcome.
We are too. Thank you, and it's looking great right now.
There's been a lot of people involved to save this building, and we are here with Dennis Fernandez, who works for the city. Hi, Dennis.
Hi, how are you doing today?
I'm great. What is your position with the city?
I'm the city's Historic Preservation Urban Design Manager, and I administer the Barrio Latino Commission for the city.
That is a really long title.
Yes, it is.
So tell me, how did the city first get involved with this project?
Well, we initially became involved with the project unfortunately, when the building was in its demise, the roof had collapsed in, and through code enforcement processes that were in place, we began to identify some type of process to save the building. And initially, the previous owner, wanted to demolish the building. That request was denied through the Barrio Latino Commission, and once that occurred, then the Italian Club began to really express interest in taking the property from the previous owner and beginning to try to find a way to stabilize it.
When you talk about the building being in disrepair and the ceiling not being intact, you're not joking, because I saw pictures where there was no ceiling.
The roof was completely removed by the previous owner. It had gotten so bad that there was literally trees growing on the interior of the building. All the windows were long removed and boarded up, and the building was really in dire straits at that particular time.
So the vision for this building has taken a lot of people to get involved and a lot of resources. What are the resources that the city used to put forth for this project?
Well, initially, the first step was when the Ybor City Development Corporation voted to spend some of these CRA dollars that are in place for the area to stabilize the building, and that was done through the Italian Club's involvement. So the initial stabilization occurred through that particular mechanism. Next, there was a low-interest loan that was provided to the property owners, the current property owners, to complete much of the rehabilitation that you're seeing today. There was also their ability to go forward with some tax exemptions that will benefit them in the future. They took advantage of that through the ad valorem tax exemption program, and then also a facade grant program, which is a matching grant program, also through the Ybor City Development Corporation, which they took advantage of to restore the beautiful facade that's going to be on this particular building.
I love that the CRA or the tax funds are actually being used to restore buildings here in Ybor City, because that's really why they were created.
Right, and Ybor City being not only a local historic district but a national landmark district warrants that heightened attention. These buildings are irreplaceable. They're a part of not only Ybor City's past, but the past of the entire common part of Tampa. And it's going to be really a joy, I think, when the work's done, to come and see the ribbon cutting and have the owners put a new use into this business to be part of the future development of the city.
So there's going to be a big party for the grand opening and the ribbon cutting, right?
Well, I'll let you talk to John Rosende about that, but I'm sure he's planning a big unveiling because of his efforts here. It's taken a lot of hard work, not only on his part, but really everybody involved with the program today.
Well, great. I look forward to talking with him.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dennis.
Great. Thank you.
I'm here with Chris and John Rosende. brothers who are the new developers, owners of the Ferlita Macaroni Factory. Hi, guys.
Hey there. How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Good. So you are the ones that are the proud owners of this beautiful, beautiful building.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't sound too excited.
Well, it's been a long road, and we're finally here at this stage in the construction process.
Well, you just had your permits approved, so congratulations.
Thank
and now
you.
the fun part begins. But let's go ahead and take a step back. Both of you are involved in Ybor City, have family ties. What is the connection here?
Well, it started with my grandfather. He moved here from Cuba, I believe, and started a laundromat in Ybor City. My father then opened up a business, S&S Craftsman, which is in Ybor City. And I guess it's natural that we follow in the footsteps of our grandfather and our father, and we have a business in Ybor City. So Ybor is held dear to us, and we do a lot of business in Ybor City, and it's about time that we step it up and move in here.
Well, we are so happy that you did. And just in case you haven't been there, there's this cute little street called 7th Avenue, one of the top 10 streets in the U.S., in America. So, of course, we have to make sure that we take you for a tour down there. Now, tell me about the plans. When are you opening?
Well, we hope to open in 2 months. We are going to open a Geldwin window showroom on the first floor along with a marketing company. Upstairs will be a Salt Construction, who did the construction on this building with the help of Element Construction, which was the construction manager on the project. And also,
That's a lot of construction.
it's a lot of construction to do here. When we got here, there was trees in the middle of the building, and Ken Ferlita brought me here and said this was my grandfather's building, and what do you think about it? And I said, well, I think we could probably restore it and make something viable here.
So you have trees, you have no roof. You're in Ybor City. Did people think you were crazy?
Yes, they did. And, we do have a passion for Ybor City and for the historical buildings in Tampa, being born and raised in Tampa. And, we felt it was a challenge, but one that we could accomplish.
Now, what about ghosts? Do you have any ghosts here?
Well, I think I might have saw one. I don't really believe too much in ghosts, but I honestly think I saw one under the tree on the other side of the building one time. But
Well, Ybor City is a melting pot for immigrants, so I'm assuming it was a Cuban ghost.
I don't know. He was wearing a hat, if that helps.
Well, let's go see if we can find the ghost or at least get a tour.
All right, sounds good.
So, John, let's start with the main entrance, which is right here on 22nd Street, right?
Yes.
And look at these beautiful columns. Are these original?
Yes, they are.
And tell me about the rest of the building. I mean, this is the original facade.
Yes, it is. This is all the original facade. This is the original ceremonial entrance to the building.
Ceremonial, what does that mean?
Well, I don't know exactly. It's a historically referenced and important distinguishing part of the type of architecture of this building.
Just wanted to make sure we weren't interrupting a wedding over here.
Well, it was. I'm not going to pretend to know that I know what that means, but
Okay, we'll just go ahead with the rest of the building.
Okay.
So tell us about the procedure you went with stabilizing the walls.
okay. On the inside, well, we'd have to move to the inside on that one.
So this is the inside of the building, and there's these big, great gray pillars. What do these stand for?
These are the structural columns that are supporting the exterior facade, the original facade, which is the brick that you see on the inside. These columns have metal running up through the center of them, rebar stirrups that have long number 5 rebar tied back into the original wall back a foot that are epoxied at different angles, pinning back the original wall. What we did to stabilize the building is we created a new continuous footer on the interior and ran these structural columns vertically, which gave this whole building a new endoskeleton and kind of supporting the existing facade in order to preserve the original facade.
Tell me about these windows. They are absolutely beautiful, and they are lining the entire, actually all of the walls.
These are Geldwin wood windows, which are made to emulate the original windows that we had photographs of. So these are historically matching what was here originally.
Do they open up?
Yes, they do, and they're huge. They're 60 inches by 108 inches, which is a huge double-hung window.
Well, that's going to give a beautiful view of downtown Tampa and the rest of Ybor City.
Absolutely, absolutely.
What else can you tell us about the building? And, I mean, the brick is beautiful as well. It looks like you must have restored that.
Absolutely. We had to clean the original brick, do a lot of repointing on the interior to stabilize the brick, both on the interior and the exterior of the building. We used lime mortar to match the original mortars.
And then tell me about the ceiling. It's nice that you do have a roof now.
Yeah, originally there was no roof on the building. It was just 4 walls. The new ceiling is designed for a live load upstairs and is all metal. We're going to leave it open to have the nice contrast of the new industrial and the old historical fusion.
The Ferlita Macaroni Factory, what an exciting project, and we were here to see it right at the beginning of construction. I can't wait to see the grand opening and the ribbon cutting.